Welcome back to the channel. It's the morning after, in fact, it's actually 7 a.m. The morning after Liverpool won, Burnley won. And to be honest, I'm slightly disappointed. I'm slightly disappointed because it's abundantly clear that the one tactic that we still cannot overcome is when teams park the bus. And it seems like 3-4-2-1 is the formation to park the bus. You know, we no matter how hard we tried, we attacked. The thing about last night's game is that Liverpool dominated the game. Let's be honest. All right. The good news is that we dominated the game. And we look at the performances of a few players like Frimpong, the likes of Ekatike, the likes of Kirkis, and even our goal scorer Florian Wirtz. Our new signings, to be honest, in that game, all four of them stepped up to the plate, and peppered we peppered Burnley with our attack. And Florian Wirtz found a way through to open up the scoreline in the 40, sorry, not 40, but the 39th minute, 38th minute, and we were in the lead. Second half, we also, to be honest, the second half we also kind of dominated. But when Burnley started to attack, we switched off. And at one crucial moment when we switched off, the ball, there was a through ball that went past Kanate, and Edwards scored from there, 1-0. And for the rest of the game, Burnley parked the bus. Let's be honest, they parked the bus. And it's not like we didn't try. It's not like the players didn't try. The players tried, but they just couldn't break down Burnley's park the bus defense. So, in the end, it was a 1-0 draw. Like I said, I'm slightly disappointed that we couldn't get a win out of it because we really did try, really did attack. Is there blame to go around? I wouldn't say blame to go around. I think there are things that Liverpool could have done better, for sure. Like, for example, I think the subs came too late. Like, all five subs, the first three subs, it was a triple change that came in the 76th minute. I definitely think that Arne Slot could have brought in the subs way earlier than that. The first three subs he brought in were Andrew Robertson, Rio Ingemoa, and Alexis McAllister. Then followed by, I think it was Federico Chiesa. So there were actually only four subs, but I think all four subs could have come in way earlier because the even with the change in personnel, even when the subs came in, the performance, the Liverpool still attacked and attacked and attacked. So I think in hindsight, Slot could have brought him in much earlier. Alexis McAllister on his first touch, he could have got a goal, but his shot was wide. But it kind of signal you. It kind of shows you his intent, the team's intent to go and score again and win the game. So I think the subs could have gone in like maybe in the 65th minute, maybe 10 minutes earlier than they did. Speaking of Rio Ingemoa, maybe I'll give him a pass because again he came in the 70. He came in after 76 minutes, but I'm starting to understand why he's not being played as often as fans think he should have. Not to say that he's bad, but honestly, when he played on the left wing, I think Cody Gakpo was more efficient on the left wing than Rio Ingemoa was when he came on as a sub. He couldn't do as much. I'm not saying he didn't do as much, but he couldn't do as much. So if that was the case, if Slot was going to bring his subs after the 76th minute, I thought maybe Cody Gakpo should just stay in for the entire match. But that's just my opinion. He brought in Chiesa way late. I think he should have brought him earlier. But there is one player that I I'm kind of surprised because I didn't expect that sort of performance from him. And considering he's our best player for this season so far, Dominic Soboslai was a little off today. We're all gonna talk. We're all gonna say that. Oh, if he converted the penalty, things would have been different. I think if I remember correctly, as I watched the match, after he missed the penalty, for that few minutes after that, he alone was visibly disoriented. His his, his link up play was slow. He was slow for that few minutes after he missed the penalty. He was slow. He was indecisive. Um, I I don't know if it's the pressure that got to him, but today he was. When I say he was the worst player, I'm not saying he had a very terrible performance. I'm not saying that, but he did have an off day today. Dominic Soboslai had an off day today, and maybe physical fitness might have a part to do with it because he's been playing so many games. So, but I think, but yet last night's game against Burnley, he was the worst of the bunch. Uh, but it, but you know what? Considering he's been the best player all season, I think an off day for him, I'll give him a pass. But he had an off day today, but he needs to step up again. He has to step it up. The rest of the team did step up. Frimpong, we're starting to see what he can do as a right back slash right wing. The way he cuts through the defense, the way he crosses through. In the first half, he could have. Sorry, was it the first half or second half? I think it was the first half. He had a shot. If it wasn't blocked by the Burnley bus, that shot could have gone in. Ekatike, the way he hustled for for the ball in the first half that led to Florian versus goal. Great great hustle play. Verts speaks for itself. I think, not I think, he's starting to have a scoring form. I think people are starting to see what Florian versus is all about and why Liverpool splashed over £100 million for him. Kirkis actually had a good game, um, but this Kirkis Gakpo dynamic, I'm not sure if it works. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure if the Gakpo Kirkis left wing dynamic works. In last night's game, I think it was much better, but does it work in the long term? I don't know. Konate, Van Dijk, other than that slip up that led to the equalizer, I think for the most part they were fine. In fact, even before the equalizer, when Burnley attacked and Konate was the only centre back, he did his best. Thank God that Alisson was there to block Konate's almost own goal, if you know what I mean. If you watch the game, you know. So I'm slightly like I said, overall for this game, I'm slightly disappointed that we didn't get 3 points. Um, but it wasn't as though we were bad because we were not 100% bad. We just couldn't break the bus down, and I think that's what's concerning moving forward. We've got the defensive shape. Like I've said this in my previous video after we drew 0-0 at the Emirates. That defensive shape that Liverpool had, that's the way to go. You know, that's the way to go. But offensively, we need to find a way to overcome this hurdle called park the bus. We need to break the bus down somehow. Because if we don't, then we're gonna have trouble scoring and we're gonna have trouble winning games and we're gonna continue dropping points. So we need to find a way. Um, and we need to find a way to get those convert those draws into wins because considering last night, Man City lost to Manchester United, Chelsea beat Brentford, Arsenal drew 0-0 to Nottingham Forest. So that means that when you look at the grand scheme of things, last night could have been an opportunity for us to close the gap um, to the three teams above us. Last night could have been a chance to close the gap to Villa, City, Arsenal. What would have been 14 points behind Arsenal could have been 12 points, and then we just go from there. So we need to find a way to convert draws into wins. Especially if moving forward, if that's the way that the rest the top three teams, like Arsenal, Man City, and Villa, if that's the way they're going to perform, then we need to convert draws into wins. Simple as that. And speaking of Man City, I'm just going to do a quick rant. Crystal Palace, you son of a... Didn't I tell you, Crystal Palace? Didn't I tell you that you were going to be in more trouble? But you just had to piss us off. You just had to try to make a rivalry out of between us and you. You just had to sell Mark Gahey for 20 million to Man City, as if Man City need any more reinforcements. And for 20 million, are you guys nuts? Here we are, ready to offer 35 million. I believe Liverpool was willing to offer 35 million, maybe 30 million, and you accepted 20 million from Man City? What the hell are you thinking, Crystal Palace? Like, that's your captain. I know he has 6 months remaining in his contract, but 20 million? And now Gahey's going to Man City, according to Fabrizio Romano. Like Man City need any more reinforcements. Yeah, maybe they do after losing to Manchester United 2-0, but we need those defensive reinforcements more than they do, and we're willing to pay for it. But yet you accepted a smaller offer. What are you trying to do, Crystal Palace? Are you trying to consider yourself a rival to us? Not trying to be egotistic or arrogant, but what the hell? Makes no sense to me whatsoever. But anyway, as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Liverpool won, Burnley won. We need to break the bus down. We need to convert draws to wins. Our next game, I believe, is a Champions League game against Marseille. As far as I know, I think it's Marseille's. I think the next game is a Champions League game. We need to focus on that, because top 8 finish in the league phase is still a possibility. So we need to win the next game. But until then, like I said, once again, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you know when I post new content for the channel. And once again, thank you for the support. I hope you keep supporting. I hope you share my channel around, and hope that they can subscribe too. Until then, see you in the next video.